Welcome back to RebelWatch. We did it again. We are hot off of another win at home. Love to see it. I'm your host, Erika Dierke.
I'm Max Certuse.
I'm Mariah Evans.
And I'm Henry Stuart.
So what did we think about that South Carolina game? We were worried, right? We were talking last show how we thought there might be some elements of a trap game here with that unranked SEC opponent.
This is a game to be prepared for and not to take anything lightly.
This is not a pushover team for Ole Miss.
I think this is definitely a game that hopefully it's not taken for granted. But we came through.
I think I'm impressed with the defense. The defense, to me, was the key to the whole game. They threw Lenore Sells completely off 6 sacks. South Carolina only had 230 yards of offense and only 50 yards rushing, which is impressive because I didn't know if Ole Miss could really limit the rush. But I'm very, happy with the defensive performance, and I feel good going forward.
Yeah, for sure. With a slow offensive start, the biggest takeaway out of that entire game was definitely the defense. I think the secondary was the biggest improvement that I saw. Still a lot of work that needs to be done, but I do think, right, you kind of said it to a T. I mean, he couldn't get off the ground. I mean, it was imminent that this defense is now not playoff ready, but definitely getting more prepared for the playoffs. And we'll see, I don't know how much advancement you can make with this game in the coming week against Citadel, but no, the defense was extremely impressive, and that was awesome to see.
Yeah, biggest thing for me definitely was of course, getting to Lenore Sellers, but not only that, but limiting his escapability. He is probably one of, if not the best quarterback in the nation in terms of being able to escape the pocket, make plays downfield, and he was able to kind of do that at the start, but the defense pretty quickly adjusted and were able to contain him, get him on the ground. He's a very hard guy to tackle. He's big framed, he's very athletic, a lot of muscle, he's tall. So credit to the Ole Miss pass rush for being able to wrestle him to the ground because he thrives on breaking tackles and being able to cause mayhem downfield. Ole Miss stayed disciplined and they played their game and they got him on the ground. So credit to them.
Yeah. So offense, obviously Trinidad Chambliss had another great game. He's a great quarterback, but it certainly was by no means one of his stronger performances, right? And so, I want to talk about that. And then I also just think it really showed the versatility we've been talking about with this team. We have a lot of options. If it's not totally working for Chambliss through the air, he can run the ball. Lacey had a really, really good game. I feel like we had a lot of versatility that we saw this game.
Yeah, Keelan Lacey to me, we say it every week, whenever the offense can't get nothing going, it's they go to him, honestly. It's he just keeps on answering the call when they call him up. And I think I'm impressed with him every week. And I don't know, he's just unstoppable to me.
Yeah, Trinidad had an okay game. I think what is nice, and I said this last week, is that you see how when a good player performs to not their best, you still get an adequate result, and that's what he did. Went 12 for 21 passing yards, 12 for 21 completions, 159 passing yards, a touchdown and an interception. So it was okay, but still got the job done, to say the least. And I'm sure if he can put that together after this Citadel week, which again we could talk about, but I think it'll be nice for him to maybe get a break after halftime and see Simmons get some time, because he is preparing and he has had a lot of pressure on him. But speaking of the pressure that is on him, I will say it is relieved by the offensive line, which did absolutely amazing, allowed no sacks. Offensive line stepping it up. Shout out Patrick Kudus. That guy is definitely one of the key players right now that I'm looking at on this offensive line. And it's been great. I really have been watching this offense click more and more as the weeks come. And then this game was a big final piece of the puzzle, or maybe just a corner piece to start building that defensive cornerstone that this football team needs to be built off of, for sure.
Yeah, and that was the storyline at the beginning of the year. The O-line, offensive line doesn't look good. And that was their 4th game, I think, where they didn't allow a sack. So they're definitely, I agree, coming together, and that's great. And then you said, Chambliss was able to get the job done. But again, I don't know if he would have been able to do that without that 167 yards from Keelan Lacey. So that I'm just so, last year, if, Dart wasn't putting it together through the air, we didn't have that, running back, as strong as Lacey is to kind of turn to. So I'm just really, really impressed with his performance and so happy that we have that and more time in the pocket for Chambliss with the O-line. What do you think?
Yeah, I'm really disappointed. I got to be honest with this offensive performance. Yeah, Keelan Lacey had a great game, but he had a 54-yard touchdown kind of in the back end of the 4th quarter. He really didn't do much outside of that and carried the ball nearly 25 times. He had 24 total carries. Other thing that's really got me disappointed is the play calling. If I had a nickel for every time Ole Miss offensively ran either a read or speed option, I would have more money than Jeff Bezos. Read and speed options all over the place, run straight up the middle, real lack of versatility in the play calling. This was not a terrific defensive effort from South Carolina. They figured out what Charlie Weiss Jr. was dialing up pretty quickly on and were able to shut it down. Some big plays and some chunk plays really got Ole Miss over the hump in this win, but this is a game that was much closer than the final score. I was severely disappointed and need to see better offensive play calling and execution, especially when it comes to the the run game. Yes, Q1 Lacey had 167 yards. 54 of those yards came on a single run that didn't come until inside of the 5-minute mark in the fourth quarter. I need to see more people stepping up, and I need to see better play calling.
Yeah, like we said, there was that fourth quarter development. That was definitely a slow start. But I do personally think that the talent is there and it's showing. And,
yes.
you know, even though the play calling can be shaky at times, it's giving the players the right positions to advance. I also want to talk about, of course, the special teams. Shout out that fake punt from Oscar. That was exciting to watch. That was insane. I mean, everybody was on their feet. And, you know, you gotta love a fake punt, right? I mean, that is a part of the beauty of football, is a trick play like that, and it worked perfect. It was executed perfectly. So yeah, I mean, this was an exciting game to watch, and everyone said it was a telltale game, and I do agree. It told us what the defense is going to look like. It told us what we need to see from the offense, and it told us that everyone loves to watch a fake punt, man.
Yeah, I completely agree, and I will say, if we're going to talk play calling, that drive was ended by an attempt on a fourth down conversion that we didn't convert. And I just personally, and maybe I'm a purist or an old head, I really don't like, especially early in the game like that, going forward on fourth down like that. I'm more of a believer in just kick the, but you know, towards the end of the game, I agree. I think it was coming together. And also, like, kind of a little bit to disagree with you, like, it's an SEC opponent. Like, we can't dominate every SEC opponent. And even if you feel like the score was closer and the score wasn't as close as the game felt, and you're disappointed with that, I think that we won the game and we did what we needed to do to win the game. And I think that it was a really telling game I'm really glad that it went the way it did.
Yeah, I mean, you absolutely have a point. I think my thing is that we could have won this game by a lot more, and we made this much tougher on ourselves than it needed to be. Like I said, South Carolina really didn't. They figured out what Ole Miss was doing offensively and were able to shut it down, and there really wasn't that much of an adjustment until, you know, kind of winning time down the stretch. And I'm glad the adjustment came, you know, late rather than never, but this could have been a much more wide open game. You know, you have Trey Wallace, who just straight up drops a punt on a return. And granted, South Carolina had the same thing happen, but, you know, South Carolina got into the end zone, was able to score on that drive and take the lead. So just kind of some small things, but just, you know, Ole Miss made this tougher on themselves, and it's okay because they managed to get the win, and I think that's important, but they just need to make life easier for yourself. As my dad would say, KISS, keep it simple, stupid.
Keep it simple, stupid. What do you think?
I wanted to ask Henry on that point. What would you do differently if you're Charlie Wise Jr., you're up there calling the plays, and you say you want to see more, like, you just don't want them just keep handing it to Q1 Lacey and the 54 yards and then all that. What are you going to do differently?
Not run speed and read options. You know, that's all. It was either Trinidad running right and either keeping it or pitching it, or it was a read option at the line of scrimmage where he either keeps it, runs up the middle, or hands it off to the running back. That's like the bulk of Ole Miss's plays offensively, is a lot of inside runs. Working some throwing, you know. South Carolina plays a very aggressive defense. They run a 4-2-5, and that, especially with their defensive backs, they're looking for opportunities to create big plays, get takeaways, stuff like that. Run drag routes, slants, you know, keep it, throw underneath. Just kind of dink and dunk your way down the field. It may not necessarily look great on the stat sheet, but it will win you football games, and it can get your offense into a rhythm. The thing that I have a problem with Ole Miss's offense is that they're constantly looking for the big play, and you need to be content with just taking a check down. And yeah, establishing the run is great, but also not running, you know, reverses with passing from a wide receiver on a fourth down conversion, like you pointed out earlier. Just keep it simple and be content with not picking up, you know, 20, 10, 15 yards every single play.
Yeah, well, I mean, and that might be a little bit more what it looks like next week, which we'll definitely get into later. But, you know, stepping away from the offense, getting back to the defense, after the break, we are going to look at an interview with kind of one of the defensive stars of the game. Thank you, Henry and Mariah, for doing that. So we will see what happens right after the break.
It's that time of the year again, fellas. When the mornings are hot, the afternoons are hotter, and football is on its way back. Now, games is won by the battles fought in August. Yeah. Everyone that's not revered as the Ole Miss legend has been in your shoes before, trying to survive that Mississippi heat, competing for a spot, and doing the sacrifice that it takes to make it in this league. You go into this money collection of men from 100 different places. And if you work, you emerge from it as one team with one goal and one heartbeat. The SEC away shit. And if they don't know who you are now, they will soon.
The dynamic freshman is starting to make his impact.
Dagger with the shot clock down to 1.
That 3-ball drops for Jamin Brakefield. Fagan from the corner with a triple. Burrell for 3, and that's a big response.
3-ball, yes. Biss shooting lights out at the pavilion.
Hey, give him one more. Wow. Oh. Well, you can't teach that. Well, that should give Ole Miss a boost.
Ole Miss, 18th NCAA tournament appearance.
This is fun, folks, as Baker's feeling it. Little heat check. Snook Collins for 3. Bring it up.
Said, I love Madison Scott.
Ole Miss Rebels are having a lot of fun, and you can see why.
All right, so the South Carolina game was all but sealed. Like, we won it on an interception from safety, Wydett Williams, and Mariah and Henry had the opportunity to speak with him earlier in the week, so we're going to show you that interview right now.
How did it kind of compare going from Division II, then to Louisiana Monroe and the Sun Belt, then to Ole Miss?
Really just working hard. I always dreamed of being on this stage, and I just worked my way up. It's never where you start from. It's always where you finish and how you finish.
What's like something you're proud of your game or still working to sharpen?
Really just transferring over from offense to defense, because I played offense my whole life until I got to college. So really I just say the transition, and defense is a fun side of the ball to be on.
You had kind of essentially the game-sealing interception this past week against South Carolina. You know, kind of take me through what that meant for you personally as you've really stepped up and become an integral part of this secondary.
I'm really just happy to be here and be a part of this. You know, my teammates push me, my coaches push me. We all push each other to be our best on and off the field. So that plays a big part, and just picking that ball off, it just really shows how we've come on a defensive level. So
you had kind of essentially the game-sealing interception this past week against South Carolina. You know, kind of take me through what that meant for you personally.
I'm really just happy to be here and be a part of this. You know, my teammates push me, my coaches push me. We all push each other to be our best on and off the field. So that plays a big part, and just picking that ball off, it just really shows how we've come on a defensive level. So,
Who would you say has been your mentor in the locker room?
Well, since I've been here, Bull, we know him as Bull, but TJ Dottery, he's always been there. He's always there for the whole team and being that leader. So,
What's your dream besides football, like something that you will hope to do in the future?
Uplifting people, like especially in my community. Being that I come from a small town, so always uplifting them, and just wanted to give back to my community.
What kind of prompted that decision to come to Ole Miss?
Really just when I came here, everything felt homey. The coaching staff, they welcomed me in. It was full of laughter and really just felt homey. And then when it's time they know a lot about ball. I've learned so much since I've been here. And really, I just wanted to grow as a player, and I felt like I can do that with this coaching staff, and so far I have done that with this coaching staff.
How do you stay locked in this week and avoid overlooking an opponent?
You got to look at every opponent the same. You can never overlook someone, because that's the time that they might one up on you. So you got to, like you playing your little brother in a video game, like you got to let them know you're not just for to keep begging for to play me, and I'm not going to beat you constantly. So you really just got to look at everyone the same, study film the same, practice the same, do everything the same. Don't change your mindset or nothing.
But, what would kind of a successful season look like for you personally?
I just want to win. I want to be a part of a team that wants to win, and this team wants to win. So I would just say winning out. That's the biggest goal, but we'll take it one game at a time, one day at a time.
Thank you so much, Wydett, for speaking with us. It was a great opportunity, but we're going to shift gears a little bit. For the first time in this season of Rebel Watch, we're going to talk about something besides football because basketball season has begun. Who's excited?
Me.
Yes. Let's go. So, there's not a lot necessarily to be said about this first game. We're in that non-conference play. Chris Beard, shout out. I believe he's 11-0 in season openers since he's been a D1 coach. But it helps when you're playing, those non-conference opponents. But it was definitely a fun game, and I'm really excited for the outlook going forward into the season. So, what are you thinking?
Yeah,
I am. Basketball game.
Yeah, I am too. That there's a lot to be excited about with this Ole Miss team. The depth that this team has is incredible. This is probably one of, if not the deepest, Ole Miss basketball teams I think that we've ever seen in Oxford. Chris Beard really went out and attacked the portal, got some really big guys. AJ Stuart coming over from Wisconsin, that's a big one. He had 18 points. Malik Dia, one of the only returning members of this from last season's team, had 20, picked up 4 rebounds. So that's the other thing. Ole Miss was pounding the glass defensively. They really went after rebounds, which is something that they were the worst team in the SEC for, and one of the worst nationally last season. They only won a handful of rebound columns last year. They won a rebound column against Southern Miss back in December of 24, excuse me. So this was the first rebound column that they've won since then. They hauled in 48 compared to the Lions' 26. So a lot to be excited about. What do y'all think?
Yeah. So speaking of the transfer portal, right, there's only 2 returners from last year. Is that right? Copley and Dia?
Yes.
So that is, this is like kind of a whole new team, a whole new cast of players. So what do you think?
Yeah, look, I am not the most knowledgeable guy when it comes to Ole Miss basketball. The only college team I ever followed was the Providence Friars, Go Friars. But what I found out about this team while doing my research is that, this is a team made of mostly transfers. I'm not sure where these 12 men have came from, but I think Ole Miss is doing the smart thing. I think what you got to see is in big schools like this, in big conference games, like they went to March Madness last year for the first round. If you want to get past these big opponents, what you got to do as a basketball team is adapt. That's what I know about the sport of basketball. Now, I will obviously find out more about this team as the weeks to come. But Henry, I want to talk to you. Who are some of these guys, these transfer guys that you like personally?
Augusto Casilla, the transfer from Georgetown, he's a big man from South America. He's been terrific. Pounding the glass, and Malik Dia kind of stepped up his rebound game too a little bit. The 2 Frenchmen, Ia Carmadine and Kiza Giffa.
Carmadine looks really good.
Yeah, he does.
He has potential to be one of the.
Yes, Carmadine. Yeah, he looked phenomenal. He had a ton of rebounds. He had 6 rebounds for a guard, that's incredible. AJ Storr, a lot of people questioned his offensive ability kind of coming into this year, seeing that he never lived up to the hype and coming out of high school. But he went 4 for 5 from 3-point range. And he lit it up behind the arc and looked really, really good. This team got off to a slow start, but they were able to pick up pretty quickly in the second half and finish the first half on a run.
Yeah, and all these guys haven't really played together before, so it was their first quarter of playing competitive basketball together, and I think that they really did start coming together and obviously completely ran away with it with that score. I'm really excited for the outlook of the year. What do you think?
With the highlights you just saw, what you just played, it was completely disrespectful. I saw guys out there dunking on top of people and all that type of stuff. You said it's their first time playing together. They look kind of connected there.
Yeah, hopefully Chris Beard is making sure that happens too.
Yeah, I just want to see more so how they're going to do in, the upcoming weeks when you do play people of other ranked teams and things like that. And so you can't really tell much from these non-conference games, but I would love to see more of the disrespect I saw in this game, which was dunking on people's heads.
Yeah, something else I would like to see more of, and one of my favorite parts, we talk about football all the time, but not even about football, is sports in general, is the atmosphere that comes along with these teams and these players and the sport itself. What I think is important is, Ole Miss isn't a team that's renowned for their basketball program quite yet, and I think that what's important is, and you see it now, there is kind of a rolling stone that's collecting some moss when it comes to this team getting notoriety, and I think as the students on campus are catching wind of the advancements made on the team, I think what's cool is that they need players to show up now, and I think that's starting to happen. I think with the game from the other night, a lot of people were showing up, and there was a lot of energy, and I think that's good. I think being on this campus, the pavilion is just a completely historical place. And I think to utilize that and just to get this team the notoriety that it deserves, the credit it deserves, and the appreciation, the love, I think that's going to be a big thing for this team.
Yeah, we're currently projected to be the 8th in the SEC for basketball. Is that right?
I think we're going to do a lot better.
Yeah, and we're 32 ranked preseason. So I like a little, underdog, but like underdog story going on. Hopefully we can surpass those ideas that are set forth from us. Before we go to the break, it's impressive how you can shout out so many other schools on this show.
For you to say Roll Damn Tide just once on this broadcast.
I'm never going to say
Don't say that on this show. Don't say Roll Tide.
I can say whatever I want. LSU is a top-tier team. It is a top-tier program. I got those dogs. All right, let me tell you what I got.
Yeah.
Don't Friars like this. Shout out Friars.
They are Jones, baby.
We are going to be back after the break to talk more football. We got the Citadel coming up, score predictions, all that kind of stuff. We will see you in a sec.
Passion is journalism. Here at the University of Mississippi, we produce a nightly half-hour newscast, broadcasting regionally on cable and globally on the World Wide Web. It's the kind of experience that is preparing me to walk into any news station in the country with the skills and abilities I need to succeed. So it's not just preparing me for the real world. It is the real world.
Do you love sports? Then you should know about STEM. Because maximizing nutrition, analyzing peak muscle performance, calculating the perfect shot, and more are all made possible by science, technology, engineering, and math. In fact, there are more careers than ever in sports science. So if you have a passion for sports, then think about getting involved in STEM and improve everyone's game on and off the field. Get inspired at SheCanSTEM.com.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
We are rebels. For more than 160 years, we've been accomplishing the impossible, from conducting the world's first lung transplant to helping prove Einstein was right. From preserving the past to saving the future. We are Mississippi's flagship university, a place where passion and learning unite, where friends become family, where small-town charm meets world-class innovation. We are the University of Mississippi. We are Ole Miss.
All right, we have our last non-conference opponent this weekend for Ole Miss. So between Ole Miss and Citadel, who do we think is going to win? 3, 2, 1.
Biggest trap game in the world.
No, it's just I kind of feel bad, though, because this is a military school.
Okay, well, you're not overseas fighting them. It's just on the football.
If we actually supported our troops, we would let them win.
Yeah. Whoa.
That's interesting.
I like their logo, but I think Ole Miss is going to take the dub. What do we think?
Yeah, Ole Miss is going to run away with this game.
I don't want to get clipped again, though. I don't want to get overconfident because you're saying the same thing about Wazoo.
Here's the thing. The Citadel's 4-5 on the season. They managed a 2-touchdown win over arch rival VMI. Go Keydets. Shout out Alfred Stewart and Peter Stewart. In the Military Classic of the South, 35-24. VMI has 1 win on the season. They're 1-8 right now. They are historically and consistently one of, if not the worst team in Division I FCS football. So they only win that game by 2 scores, and it was in Charleston. It was a home game for the Bulldogs. Ole Miss is going to win this game. My prediction is 65-10.
Whoa.
2015, the Citadel was 7-4 walking into Williams-Brice Stadium in Columbia, South Carolina to take on the Gamecocks, and they ended up winning that game 41-38 in front of 77,000 stunned Gamecock fans, but this is not 10 years ago. That South Carolina team was 3-8 on the year, or 3-7 rather, excuse me, but, Ole Miss is, a nationally ranked team, and we're 8-1. We're 6th in the country, 8-1.
I will not take this disrespect to my troops. I will not put a 65-10. And I thought you kept saying they played Vietnam. I was like, what? But I think I'm going to go 45-7. And I feel pretty bad for saying that because these people do protect and serve. And I'm sorry.
You're good. You're not like the dictator of another country. You're good.
It's gonna be
all right.
I'm sorry.
All right. I doubt that they're listening. Because
You're listening.
As Henry usually says, I think they're gonna get mollywopped. I personally think that this game is going to be a red and blue game. I think it's just gonna. I mean, look. After watching the film of Citadel's football, they're a disciplinary school. You know what they do? They run the damn ball, and that's what they do. They play a lot. They get the tight ends blocking all the time, but they're not really going to be able to do anything. And I really hope that this doesn't get clipped with some trap game clip like we did weeks ago. But what more can you say? Like, it's going to be a home game too. Like, I don't really know. You know, you can talk all you want, but this offense, I think, is going to be in and out by the first half, and then I think they're going to try to get maybe Austin Simmons to play a half, see how that works out. I also think that they're just going to try to rotate those starters in and out. And also, I will say that the start speed is a pivotal thing right here.
Yeah. What is your score prediction?
54-7.
Geez, all you people are disrespectful.
Max is right. It's okay. I want to use a Henryism as well. We actually have played the Citadel before. Last time we played the Citadel, I was born. I was being born. We played them in 2005, and we won 27-7. And I think it is going to be a much larger point differential this time. I am going to take, I was going to say 54, but now I want to be different. Someone else say something. Talk.
No,
I don't know. I'm still...
Let her pick a score prediction. What's your score prediction?
I was going to say 54-10, but that's very similar to you. So
What were they?
I'll stand my ground. 54-10, I think we're winning. And, I mean, we've really just set it up where if this is a close game, I mean, we're really overclose.
We take the show down or we don't upload.
I did not disrespect you, Citadel. I trusted you, and I'm still going this, but I don't know. Like, I feel bad.
I didn't think that Wazoo was a strong team, but I agree with Henry. Like this, we've seen nothing out of them this year. Like they don't look very strong. I'm excited for them to come. I'm excited for the atmosphere. I'm excited to appreciate our troops this Saturday.
Who's excited to leave at halftime? No, I'm kidding.
Don't leave at halftime, guys. We're trying to build the student section, please.
All right.
Hopefully everyone sticks around for this noon game on a Saturday that hopefully we will be molly-whopping them in. I also just think if we could super quickly look forward, if anyone has anything to say about the playoff implications after beating that South Carolina team.
We're going to the playoffs, guys. We did it.
How many clips can we get in this 2-minute span? I think that hopefully we are able to stay locked in for this game so that we can still be very sound of mind for this upcoming Florida game. Do you have any thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, we're going to win this game. We're going to beat Florida, and we're going to beat Mississippi State. I think it could be close. I think it could be close and startable, but as for this week, we're playing a bottom-tier SoCon team. So we're going to win this game by 50 points.
And we're going to take that dub. Ole Miss by 50. I have been your host, Erika Dierke.
I'm Max Certuse.
I'm Mariah Evans.
And I'm Henry Stuart.
We will see you next week with a big, fat W. Hotty toddy.
Hotty toddy.